So, Season 4 Reloaded is this upcoming week by all indication, and with it, we still haven't seen anything official confirmed. Nothing really teased, nothing of the sorts to give us an indication as to what's to come. So there's a lot of questions on how this mid-season update will go, but strangely, we did recently get a few leaks in regards to upcoming content with mid-season and the Season 4 Reloaded update here. So, unofficially speaking, we know of a few cooler things here that is kind of odd because we normally see leaks happen right after seasonal updates, not right before. But today we're breaking them down and what you need to know, so as we go along, drop your thoughts below. What do you think of these leaks? Do you think they're good for the game, bad for the game? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts. But if you enjoyed the video, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay updated with all things Modern Warfare 2, Warzone, and all things ahead of and beyond the Season 4 Reloaded update, X-Defiant, and even more FPS content. Finally, check out my friends over at Gamer Advantage. We just launched the new limited run of the Espresso bundle, but more on that a little later. For now, let's jump into it. So this information today comes from Task Force Leakers 141, a leaking account we've talked about here on the channel, as well as a new data mining account, Call of Duty Trade. Now, unfortunately, because this is upcoming content, it is subject to copyright. So unfortunately, I can't put it on screen for you guys just to check out right here, but I'll leave links down there in the description below. Fingers crossed they're still up and haven't been taken down by DMCA just yet. But the first thing I want to talk about today that came out within the last day or so, depending on when this video goes live, is the introduction of daily login bonuses for Modern Warfare 2. For this current iteration, it kind of seems like it's going to be perhaps a trial version of a system maybe we see later on down the line, because we have listed upwards of day 7 and 7 rewards individually. Perhaps there's more, perhaps there's not, but we do have with this listed 7 things: a loading screen, vehicle skin, double XP token, calling card, weapon XP token, emblem, and an M4 blueprint that I actually think looks pretty cool. You may think differently, and that's totally fine if so. I kind of have some out there taste for cosmetics, but yeah, that's your rewards here with that. The fine print of these login rewards states daily login rewards end in 349 days. Likely a placeholder if you're asking me, but it also says to earn all rewards, log in on 7 separate days before unclaimed rewards expire. So right up front, we see that these are indeed daily, so 24 hours apart likely, or perhaps resetting on each day on that 10 a.m. marker that COD updates usually adhere to. But what's nice though is that it seems like these are 7 days in a window of time. Again, I'm not expecting that to be nearly an entire year, 349 days, but a better guess I would imagine is from mid-season to the end of the season, which would be August 2nd. So by the time this comes around, about like 3 weeks or so, which if correct means you'd want to log in at least once every 3 days, which is definitely very easy for some, while others it might be something you have to consciously consider. But all that aside, I actually quite like the sort of prospect and underlying foundation here of this. We had login bonuses in Infinite Warfare and World War II, and it was just this small little incentive that did help with active users. I won't lie, I had a lot more free time back when I was playing those games, but even when we didn't have things like Warzone, we didn't have things like major grinds that come back to day over day beyond camo challenges, I still was jumping on and playing during those periods, and you best believe that I was jumping into things like the headquarters and collecting my salvage from the mail station in World War II. I think this is a nice feature and one that doesn't hurt anyone, but instead is more of an organic way to incentivize daily logins as opposed to artificial ways that we've seen in the past, like seasonally resetting ranks to include that feeling of, oh, I need to rank up again. I'll take a tangible reward no matter how small over having things removed that I had already worked towards, again, like those prior mentioned rank resets down to a first level of a prestige if you didn't fully max the prestige out in a season. I'd like to see this go well and then continue on into further seasons, perhaps with more rewards and then some. While I think the M4 blueprint is cool, I'd like to see some cooler rewards than just that, like universal camos, blueprints, and more of those as opposed to just like emblems, loading screens, vehicle skins, XP tokens, and stuff like that. Things that I'll actually interact with and see on a regular basis in game. I'd love to see that. Plus, if we do something like 4 weeks worth of rewards in a season of 8 weeks, I think there'd be good potential to see that kind of stuff. But anyways, that's just me. But next up, let's talk about some raid camos. These leaks initially came from Warzone Mobile of all places, one of the first times in recent memory since the whole Modern Warfare 2 COD 2024 leak debacle last year that Warzone Mobile had given insight into the mainline game. Warzone Mobile received an update earlier that also showcased new camos in the events section, and as we know, these are shared with Modern Warfare 2 with Warzone, so these kind of things do have crossover, and there we saw the introduction in the events tab of the projectile and tarnished camos. These, as described in Warzone Mobile, are your Raid 4 reward camos. These follow similar pattern to what we saw last year with Season 3's Raid and how they're earned, where the projectile camo, that is an animated green and matte black camo earned by completing the raid on a veteran run. So you have to complete the raid at least once to gain access to the veteran option, but then you have to complete it with some different obstacles along the way. Plus, you also have to be conscious of you have a down limit per checkpoint, otherwise you end up failing the mission. Now, this camo is a sort of like network style webbing camo design that moves across the canvas in an animated style, similar to the cherry blossoms camo in pacing and how it like floats across, not necessarily like how the lines are animated like a wave or anything like that. Instead, it's a sort of static design that just scrolls across the camo rather than the lines and webbing moving itself. Honestly though, I think this one looks pretty cool. Now, the tarnished camo, this is the Easter egg reward for finding the secret weapon. Very similar again, perhaps identical to the same parameters that we'd have from Raid Episode 3, but the projectile camo is, instead of the green and black, almost a ruby red and lighter red color palette, but that same sort of webbing style design. Now, while I'm here for the accessibility of cool camos, I'm also kind of surprised that for the second time, we have the cooler of the two camos being relatively easy to obtain. Same thing with last season, where like the Easter egg camo, if I wasn't a fan of doing Easter eggs and I didn't want to make a guide on the channel, I wouldn't care to get that camo at all. It wasn't worth it when you get the Raid Veteran reward done. That lightning camo was way cooler. So kind of the same thing here at this, where the projectile camo definitely is the one that you're going to be wanting to go for. But anyways, beyond that, we also learned recently about the new Gulag for Vondel BR, that coming at mid-season, where we don't know anything about player count, we don't know anything about squad sizing or anything just yet at launch, but we do know that we're going to have the ability to play Last Man Standing BR without Resurgence on Vondel. Resurgence shouldn't be going away anytime soon here at this, but instead adding another playlist into the fold here where we can play just standard BR on Vondel. And with that, because you will not have Resurgence, you'll have the Gulag to end up getting you back into the fight. This one, it was previewed, but we actually saw recently leaked footage as well that showcases that this is basically the Showers Gulag from the original Verdansk era Warzone. Honestly, I really like that. I wish that this would be something that would replace the Al Mazrah Gulag as well, because like, dude, the Al Mazrah Gulag, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that is the worst Gulag I think we've had. I cannot stand that Gulag at all, so I would love to play the Vondel one here with this, but we'll have to see how that works out. I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be Vondel only. Now, that said, that's the leaks that we learned about recently with Season 4 Reloaded, but there's a couple of questions still remaining. Number one, we also didn't see any recent mention or leak of event camos like we saw with 2.5 and 3.5. Plus, there was no explicit mention of it this time around with the Assault on Vondel challenges, saying that any camo challenges would be coming at mid-season. And with the event already concluded, we don't have anything that really further confirms nor denies that. So right now, I'd say that's like a 50-50 toss-up. I'm really hoping we see more camo challenges because I loved that grindable aspect of it, but it's something that right now we don't have anything officially confirmed with that. But also the second question is, will we see data mined hints towards the Modern Warfare 3 reveal event? As we've talked about, it is something that has been rumored now for the beginning of August. I kind of am leaning a little bit more towards this being maybe mid-August at this point, because when you consider it, you'd have the reveal event right at the start of a seasonal launch, if that's the case. And I don't think that they're going to try and market a new season plus a new game reveal at the same time. That's not really in the playbook of Activision. They like to give their separate events a lot of time to breathe. So therefore, by the rule of two that we've talked about, I wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing the event or so happen like August 15th, 16th, or 17th at that point, giving a little bit of breathing room from Season 5's launch, and then right in the middle perhaps of when Season 5 Reloaded would be happening. So that's kind of my new educated guess with that, but at the same time, with it being something that it would be only one major update away, we should, in theory, start to see some teasers and some breadcrumb trails leading to what this will ultimately be, maybe giving us an inside look at what to expect a little earlier rather than later. So that's something that I'm very curious to see if we'll get with Season 4 Reloaded, but for now, it's just speculation. But that said, that's what we've seen leak out here for Season 4 Reloaded recently, and also what you can kind of look forward to a little further with some of those questions here on hand still. But that said, that is where we're gonna wrap it up. But before we do, I wanna take a few extra seconds to talk about Gamer Advantage. I'm sure you've heard the pitch before. Truly, I think they're the best blue light glasses company on the market with the most lightweight, comfortable, and durable frames out there. But if you've yet to pick up a pair for yourself, or maybe you want another pair, we we just teamed up to launch the Espresso bundle. Now, what makes this bundle different is only a little bit, but it's a cool way to directly show some love to the channel. But with it, you get a pair of the Inferno glasses with my logo etched into the frames, a microfiber carry pouch and cleaning cloth, both branded with the channel's artwork, and a polarized magnetic sun clip. Really cool to have if you want to use them as sunglasses, or if they're a prescription pair, they very well could be your daily driver and you can turn them into sunglasses. But these are in limited stock, and I don't think we're doing another batch of these for some time, so if you'd like to check them out, grab them while you can. And of course, as always, you can use code Espresso to net yourself 10% off your order. And finally, truly, thank you guys for the support over the years. This is a direct result from your support here over the years. So truly, thank you guys so much for that. Link in the description below if you guys would like to learn more. But for now, that is what we're going to call it. So let me know your thoughts down below. Are you looking forward to anything in particular with Season 4 Reloaded? Anything maybe not so much? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts. But if you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare 2, Season 4 Reloaded. All the guides and updates we'll keep it up to date with, plus also some other stuff like X Defiant and other FPS content. But for now, thanks so much for watching. Mod has been Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.